When you reach for almond milk in the supermarket, you probably think you're making a healthy choice. Good for you, good for the planet. After all, almonds are natural, nutritious, and vegan-friendly. But behind the scenes, the almond milk industry hides a surprising web of environmental impact, economic controversy, and misleading marketing that challenges the image of this beloved dairy alternative. Let's begin in the orchards of California, the source of nearly 80% of the world's almonds. California's Central Valley is a lush stretch of farmland, but there's one major problem: it's fundamentally dry. Almonds, however, are incredibly thirsty crops. It takes about 1 gallon of water to grow just a single almond. Think about that. A typical half-gallon carton of almond milk contains roughly a handful of almonds, but the production of those almonds consumes around 130 gallons of water. In a state plagued by frequent droughts, this water usage has become hugely controversial. Over the last decade, as almond milk surged in popularity, California's almond acreage has exploded, doubling from 680,000 acres in 2005 to nearly 1.4 million acres in recent years. Today, almonds alone account for about 10% of California's agricultural water usage, more than all residential water use in the entire city of Los Angeles. This astonishing statistic raises serious questions about sustainability. Yet, almond growers argue their side fiercely. They point to innovations such as drip irrigation, precise water monitoring, and improved agricultural practices, reducing water use per almond by 33% since the 1990s. But while efficiency has improved, the sheer scale of almond production continues to draw criticism. Environmental groups argue that no matter how efficient the farmers become, the total environmental footprint remains immense, particularly in drought-prone regions. Beyond water, almond farming has a massive impact on local ecosystems. Almond trees rely heavily on honeybees for pollination, creating an immense demand for commercial beekeeping. Each February, millions of bees are trucked into California from across the country, often under stressful conditions. This phenomenon, known as the largest annual managed pollination event in the world, accounts for nearly half of all commercial beekeeping revenue in the United States. However, this enormous migration also exposes bees to pesticides and disease, contributing significantly to bee mortality rates. Bee colony collapse has become a growing concern, with almond orchards frequently cited as part of the problem due to their heavy pesticide use and stressful transportation logistics. Critics argue that the almond milk industry has glossed over this hidden ecological cost, leaving consumers largely unaware of their indirect role in bee colony losses. But let's dig deeper into economics. Almond milk brands sell their product at prices 2 to 3 times higher than dairy milk, despite the actual almond content being surprisingly low. An investigation by consumer advocacy groups found that some popular almond milk brands contain only around 2% almonds. The rest is water, sugars, emulsifiers, vitamins, and flavoring. This revelation has caused backlash from consumers who feel misled by premium pricing for essentially flavored water. This situation led to several class action lawsuits against major almond milk producers, accusing them of deceptive advertising. In 2015, Blue Diamond Growers, maker of Almond Breeze, was sued for marketing almond milk as containing significant almond content. Although the lawsuit was eventually settled, the incident highlighted deep consumer mistrust and raised questions about transparency in food labeling. Additionally, traditional dairy farmers have battled against almond milk labeling. They argue that the term milk should only apply to animal-derived dairy products, citing concerns over consumer confusion and product integrity. In response, the dairy industry has lobbied heavily for stricter labeling regulations, and some states have proposed legislation to restrict plant-based beverages from using dairy-related terms. While these legal battles often appear petty on the surface, they underline significant economic stakes. Dairy producers have seen declining milk sales as consumers shift toward alternatives, intensifying industry tensions. Still, despite these controversies, almond milk remains enormously popular, driven by rising consumer preferences for plant-based diets. Millennials and Gen Z consumers increasingly seek products they perceive as healthier and more environmentally conscious. In response, almond milk brands lean into marketing that portrays their products as not just nutritionally superior, but ethically superior. But is almond milk genuinely better for your health? Nutritional comparisons tell a nuanced story. Almond milk typically contains fewer calories and less sugar than cow's milk, but it also lacks significant protein and essential nutrients naturally present in dairy. Many almond milk brands fortify their products with synthetic vitamins and minerals to match dairy milk's nutritional profile. Some nutritionists have criticized this practice, highlighting the difference between naturally occurring and synthetic nutrients, raising further consumer confusion about almond milk's actual health benefits. Consumers are beginning to respond. Some are pivoting toward alternative plant-based milks like oat, hemp, and pea milk, which promise lower environmental impacts and better nutritional profiles. Oat milk, in particular, has exploded in popularity due to its relatively low water footprint and creamy taste, eating into almond milk's market dominance. The almond milk industry faces a crossroads. To maintain its market leadership, brands are rapidly adopting more transparent practices, including clearer labeling and sustainability certifications. Innovations such as regenerative agriculture practices, biodiversity initiatives, and water recycling technologies are increasingly marketed as core selling points. Yet critics argue these efforts remain largely symbolic, aimed more at image building than genuine systemic change. They push for stronger accountability measures and more rigorous environmental standards, challenging almond milk producers to truly walk their sustainability talk. Ultimately, almond milk's future hinges on balancing consumer demand, environmental responsibility, and economic viability. As consumers grow increasingly informed and environmentally conscious, almond milk companies face a tough challenge. Will they invest heavily in real, measurable sustainability? Or will they continue with business as usual, relying on slick marketing and minor incremental improvements? The next time you stand before a shelf of almond milk, know this. Your purchase isn't just a simple choice between almond and dairy. It's a decision with real impacts on water resources, ecosystems, agricultural economies, and even bees. Each carton symbolizes a complex web of hidden costs and ethical questions. The almond milk debate isn't going away anytime soon. It invites deeper scrutiny into how we produce and market our food, pushing us all to ask critical questions about sustainability, ethics, and transparency. The real cost of your carton of almond milk might just be higher than you ever imagined.